someone's been busy, Matt, haven't they, with the tunes? That's a different preview intro. And I think I know who the main culprit is. And I'll get my own back for that.
Wasn't me.
I'll get my own back. No, I know, we all know who it is. We all know who it is. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton with Stato Matt. And we're here for the European Matchday build-up. West Ham United's European journey continues tomorrow evening when we travel to face Genk, where we will be aiming to maintain our unbeaten start to Group H. On the other hand, the hosts currently sit bottom after consecutive defeats in the Europa League, but a victory against West Ham tomorrow could take them into the top two. Europa League is back, Matt. How you feeling about it?
Not as nervous as I was at the first game. I'm not going to lie. We seem to made this a bit. Is it a full sense of security or something? We made this rather easy. I'm looking forward to it. We've sort of taken it to a duck to water so far. This Europa League stuff. It's not as nerve-wracking as it was the first time round.
Because we're now 4 games in. This is what you're saying,
I
suppose it's been we've kind of, because we've played 3, won 3, not conceded. But let's not get this wrong either. The first half against Genk, and we'll talk about this in a second. I think we were sitting there. I mean, we conceded a goal; it was disallowed. But we were sitting there thinking, "Oh, okay." We kind of looked up and thought, right, we need to take a bit of, we need to actually really concentrate and really put our mindsets onto it, and turn it around. And I think we did in the end. We certainly did in the end. So yeah, you're buzzing.
Absolutely. Look, let's get the. As Souček said, let's get the win tomorrow and confirm the qualification, mate. Let's get sorted.
Look at the confidence.
It's sorted, mate.
Oh, Matt, he's buzzing with life. Listen, as we always do, we will talk to an opposition fan regarding Genk. So if you are new around here, please make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up and, of course, leave a comment. We will engage with the comments as well. So it's time to talk the opposition, Matt. Let's talk Genk. And everyone, please welcome Mikey back. Mikey, how you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me again.
Absolute pleasure. You were a top guest, and there was no ifs or buts about it. Everyone loved having you on the last time round. It gave us so much insight. You're a genuine guy, and it's lovely to have that when you've got kind of opposition fans on, especially with the knowledge that you've got as well, which really does help us out. But are you keeping well since last time we spoke?
Yeah, well, most of the people will see I'm pretty red right now. It's not because I'm still angry about the game. It's because I'm under some terrible lighting. I'm on vacation right now, contemplating switching places because this is terrible. But however, I'm doing great. The family is doing great, and the last 2 games for Genk have been pretty great. So I'm starting to get pretty happy.
Good, yeah, we've been kind of keeping an eye on it. So listen, we never had you on the last time for the review after the game. We had you on from before the game. So give me your kind of brief thoughts on actually, before we continue, the best thing to do to remind people is let's take a look and see what happened the last time we played each other. Only the 21st of October, whilst Matt's doing his cleaning up on his desk. I can hear his crackling away.
Out, mate. Yeah, go on.
So, Mikey, what was your thoughts on that game the last time out?
Well, I think West Ham played a very mature game. We had some difficulties. Some players didn't turn up the way I expected them to. We had a bit of bad luck when we had to change. We had to sub Cuesta at at the halfway mark because of an injury. He won't be there tomorrow, so there will be an impact on the game. Up to that point, I think our defense was pretty tight. Midfield, Torstvedt didn't really turn up. Rozovsky didn't really turn up. And up front, I have to say, I think your trainer played a pretty damn good game on WHUFC. I've been thinking about it a lot because the actions he made were, he was kind of too eager to show what he had. And I was thinking about it like, okay, what could be the cause for this? And your trainer, of course, before the game mentioned that, on a WHUFC, yeah, we looked at him, but he wasn't our type of player. And for a player who wanted to go to the Prem so badly, and as we all know, where there's smoke, there's a bit of fire. So some of it must have been true. And by stating that Onuachu wasn't good enough for West Ham, I think he wanted to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
He wanted to prove your coach wrong. And he just, Onuachu is pretty steady on the ball. You've seen those actions where three guys were around him and you couldn't take the ball, but then he took it a bit too far. You lost the ball, got into a dangerous situation. So it kind of played in your favor, but it was well deserved nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one player you did talk to us about, who was the first time that we all West Ham fans really got to see him, Matt, during the game. I think you were there, weren't you? And you were messaging the group as well, and even I know I was doing the Matchday live, but myself and my dad were massively impressed with this guy. Ito, your kind of Japanese midfielder. I mean, like you said, Mikey, with last time you were on, I felt like he was the threat. He was the player that you played the ball through. He, in the first half in particular, was causing West Ham problems. He was finding space, he was creating space, and he was always kind of trying those penetrating passes. And what I also noticed was, which is what you said, a couple of times, the way he whipped that ball around any of our defenders that found Onuachu, but Onuachu couldn't do anything with it during that game, showed how dangerous a player he can be.
You gotta love him, right? I've ordered a petition to give him the number 1 spot at Genk, since none of our keepers have that number. He just deserves the number 1 spot. No, but the thing with Ito is he's such a great player, because at one certain point, Onuachu was subbed for Ike Ugbo, an ex-Chelsea player we brought in this summer. And instantly you could notice that the way he crossed the ball changed. It was always on point of the guy that received the pass. When it wasn't towards Onuachu, he went high because he knew we could get him. But then there was this action where he just passed the ball from the side to Ugbo, and he was pretty short to the ground. And it was such a great ball. So I love that guy. The only thing I think is he shouldn't have listened too much to what our coach was saying, because I feel like the coach said, bring all the balls towards Onuachu. And I think that if he would have been a bit more selfish, he might have been even more dangerous. But overall, Ito was what a top performance. At one point I was thinking, I'm so happy this guy doesn't play for West Ham, because otherwise we'd be pretty deep in shit.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, you were heavily impressed with him as well, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, I knew nothing about him before the game, but obviously having done the preview, I was like, I said to people around me, this is the guy to watch out for. Apparently he's really good. And especially in that first half, when it really was, the first half an hour, it really was like end to end in either team. He had a goal disallowed, but it did literally seem that every time Genk had an attack, it was Ito on the wing that was doing something, whether it was putting a cross in or just making the runs like in between the fullback and the centre back. It was like He was like your get out ball was just there, and I think one was offside. There was one ball went over the top, but obviously I think Areola came out and sort of dealt with. Mm-hmm. But he looked like he had something about him. And I was like, wow, was like, well, why don't we know about this guy? Because he could definitely make a difference on our end, the way we play. That's the biggest compliment I could give him. Like, he could walk into a West Ham team and play the way we play and make a difference.
I really think it has a lot to do with him being just a really humble guy, and I think it's a standard Japanese setting, because we know Japanese players as being quite humble, quite respectful, hard work, they really earn their pay on the field, and it's a combination that you don't find very often in a player in Europe, mainly because we found this guy in Japanese second division a couple of years ago. So you have to have that personality to bring it all out on the field, and I think he did that every second of every game.
Absolutely. What was your kind of thoughts, Mikey, on West Ham's approach to the game the first time round, and what difference do you see Genk, being at home in front with their own fans? How do you see them approaching this game? So the first question would be, what was your opinion on West Ham from watching them, especially in the second half, and then going into the game tomorrow?
I was quite surprised that, as you said in our previous conversation, that West Ham has been quite absent from Europe last years. Because I've seen a team that played really well together. You guys really stuck together, played as a team, very mature, as I already said. And that kind of team spirit can break a whole game for an opponent. So you were steady at the back, you were lethal when it came towards those actions up front. And as I said, we had a very strong connection between Lukumi and Cuesta at the first half, but as soon as the second half started, you just felt that you took control and you never let go. For Genk, after our last game, we've hit quite a big and quite an important mark, where even our coach called us a team in crisis, because we were conceding quite a lot of goals. So luckily we had 2 games that we always should have won, but we won them comfortably with 6-0 and 6-2. So I hope that gives quite a bit of boost of confidence. But since our last meetup, Ito has been injured, is now back. Heine has been injured, is now back. Cuesta is injured, still injured. So the team probably will look at the West Ham team, the guys who beat Manchester City in their domestic cup, the guys who've put in unbelievable spells against, let's be honest, not the smallest teams in the Prem. So you guys are showing yourself as quite a confident side, and it'll take quite a lot of confidence and arrogance to come out tomorrow and say like, okay, we got you, we got him.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, because after that game, you've gone on a good footballing run. How many games is it you've won in a row since the last time we've met? Is it 2 or 3?
2,
I think,
yeah.
2. And in those 2 games in particular, I think one was a cup game, but you've scored 6 goals in each of those games, so 12 goals in the last 2 games. To counter that, West Ham have continued our run. We're unbeaten in, is it 5 or 6 games now? And
I think it's
6. We've won 6 in a row as well. So,
and we're unbeaten. Is it 8 away games?
8 away games just now, yeah. So we're in the form of our life. It's an unbelievable time to be a West Ham fan. But coming into the game tomorrow, you're sitting where you are, bottom of the league. But apart from where West Ham are at just now, a win for West Ham pretty much guarantees us automatic qualification. But it's important for Genk to get points on the board, so they're going to be well up for this game. What will they do that's going to be different to the game we had last time round?
I think we're gonna play Painsil instead of Bongonda. Bongonda really having trouble to find his groove. Quality-wise, as I said the last time we spoke, I think Bongonda has a lot more quality in-house, but he has quite a bit of ups and downs to work with. Paintsill doesn't have that as much. He plays consistent, although be it at a slightly low quality. But in the last 2 games, he played pretty damn good. So I'm really looking forward to what I hope he can play in a liberating way without pressure, because I hope he has the confidence to play with a free spirit. At the back, we're gonna have to find a solution for Cuesta. I am slightly afraid John will choose for Sadik, which isn't a bad choice. But I would like to see him play someone with a bit more physical power against this West Ham. And in my opinion, that would be Mackenzie, because he came from the MLS a year ago or something. And that's known for being quite a beefy competition. And if you look at the guy, he's also a pretty beefy guy. Overall, I think we're gonna play the same strategy, and we're just gonna. It's gonna be so tough because we know that we're going to face the strongest West Ham side for the next 3 remaining European League games. Because if you guys win, of course, you don't have to worry, and there's always going to be this thing like your coach is going to go like, okay, chaps, we've got a lot of games coming up, but if we win this one, we can take it easy the next 2 ones. So pressure's really on us.
And the thing is though, Mikey, I mean, I think this. If you're happy to stay on the show, Mikey, we're more than welcome to have you stay on a bit longer. Is that okay with you? And we can talk a bit about
absolutely.
West Ham as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk a bit about both, Matt, and as well. But something that we know as West Ham fans, Matt, is that Moyes likes momentum. So, the old West Ham would be with the mindset that maybe we have 9 points on the board. Maybe we will start to rest some really, really key players. But we have not seen that from David Moyes this season, our manager. And our manager, loves momentum. He loves to keep the momentum as high as he possibly can. So he does go into every single game. He has such faith in the whole squad that he's got that we never see 11 changes. It's only 3 or 4. Pretty much anytime there's a change made. And it's got a really good balance. And these players that are coming in, that are maybe taking over the Europa League mantle, are players that are desperately fighting to challenge to get into the league team, and vice versa. I think there's an element of you can progress, because if West Ham do progress, Mikey, and we progress as the final, as the group leaders, we go into the last 16. We don't have to do the preliminary round before that. The last 16, it's a big deal. It's huge.
I can see you guys going further even. But maybe that's being a bit too. I shouldn't praise you guys.
But Stato, I mean, based upon what I've said there about consistency, which is what David Moyes says all the time in our press conferences, how do you see him going in the mindset tomorrow?
You know what? I don't think he's going to treat this any differently to any game we've done this season. I think he has brought about this mentality within the team that they, West Ham managers gone by would go, we need to win these games. I like our banked wins. These games we might get a win, and these games we're just not going to win. Like, we're just going to accept that. Like, we've done that years before. Like, we play the big teams, and sometimes we go out there and think, we might get something. We've played games against Man City at home where we all turn up on the day like, we're not going to win today, and we're like 3-0 down in half an hour. And you can see when the players walked out, you're like, we aren't up for this today. We're not going to get anything. Whereas Moyes has transformed the team where now they come out every single game expecting to win. Like, he's like, no, you will go out, you will do this. I have the faith in you. You have the ability. Regardless of what players are on the pitch, Moyes sends them out every game to win. He never sends out a team to not compete and win. No matter the amount of changes he makes or the formation or who starts, he always sends out a team going, you can win this game, go and win it.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality change that he's brought to the team. So regardless of who goes out tomorrow, he will send out a team to win. That will be his goal.
Yeah, for anyone that's watching, because Mikey's going to stay with us and have a little chat with us about West Ham and Genk as well. So get your comments in, and if there's any questions you want to ask Mikey, we'll put them up. Hammerhead is saying here, Onuachu is going to be a handful tomorrow. I can just tell. Do you think that, Mikey, based upon that comment, do you think that that's going to be because Onuachu's learned how to play against the West Ham defence?
I think it's a bit too short. If we'd have like 2 months between those games, we'd probably be in a position where we could prepare him a bit better. But he's been on quite a dry spell for quite a while. He only scored his first goal last weekend. So he's really having quite a bit of a confidence issue, crisis. I don't want to call it a crisis, but an issue. So the way you guys managed to keep him out of the game last time, if you're just gonna do the same, I think you'll get to those insecurities quite fast again.
I think we've got that, haven't we, Matt? With our, the confidence reaps in our centre halves, our central defenders, because our manager stated again at the start of the season, I want to have 4 central defenders that can compete for 2 positions. And he has, what we've actually currently got is 4 central defenders that are all on form, which is very unique in times of especially in football in general, but as a West Ham fan in general, to have 4 central defenders that if one was to slip out, the other one to come in, you would have extreme amount of confidence that player would step up to the plate, let alone the fact that most of them are scoring goals as well from the defence, which does offer us, we've got a player, Craig Dawson, Issa Diop, they're our Europa League pairing. Issa Diop, Toulouse captain, under-21 French player, came with he was a captain at 19 for Toulouse in Ligue 1, and he comes with such a thing. He'd done well, he lost a bit of confidence, but he's came back with an abundance. We've signed a kind of what people would maybe classify Dawson as a has-been. You could have classified him as that. He'd done the rounds around a lot of clubs, but he was a model professional that hardly gave away many errors in his whole career. We brought him in for £2 million, and he's ended up being a rock for us in the back. And it seems to be we've got that mix. But when you put Dawson and Diop in the central pairing, you don't fear really anyone. I mean, I'm not going to lie, Mikey, I did fear Onuachu solely because of his presence and his prolific goal-scoring history. But very quickly, I could see that Dawson and Diop had the confidence. And the thing we needed to do, which we didn't do in the first half, was nullify the threat you said to nullify, which was Ito, which is what's going to be interesting, because I think that's maybe what West Ham might do tomorrow, which then may free up another one of your creative players. And that's maybe where, what was his name, could come into play, Thordsveit.
Thordsveit.
Yeah, Thordsveit,
yeah.
sorry.
I'm still pretty angry at that guy. About an hour after our last meetup, Krc Genk put up a video of Thordsveit in your stadium, and you might not know this, but Thordsveit has a father who played as a goalkeeper for Tottenham, which I believe are like enemies of you. And he was talking to the camera like, "Oh yeah, great stadium, yeah, wow, it's gonna be great if we could get a point out of it." So looking downward, no confidence showing, like settling for 1 point, while I was an hour ago preaching like, "Oh, Genk is we're going out for the 3 points, yeah, we're gonna go great." And then someone in marketing says like, "Oh, this is a video everyone should see. Let's put it up." So if he comes with a attitude, with hunger to get the goal, to get the win, yes, it's gonna be important. Yes, it's gonna be dangerous. But haven't seen it in the last weeks, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Do you feel like, as fans and looking in Genk, that I'd like you to be honest with this one. Do you feel confident going into tomorrow, or is that sense of nervousness kicking in? I know as every fan does, but do you have a genuine concern for your team this season, or has the last couple of victories, scoring 12 goals in 2 games, given you a bit of a boost?
I think we're going to lose tomorrow, quite frankly, because as you just said, a good defense needs stability, needs leadership, and we had that stability with Lukumi Cuesta. That those 2 guys were just they're solid as they are. But now one of them is gone. We have to change them. None of our other defenders have been with the team for longer than a year. We've always played the Lukumi Cuesta link up, so the other one, meaning that Lukumi is the only one who is actually leading the defense, because even though Van der Voort is, in my opinion, a great keeper, and he's still got a lot of potential, you can see that he needs to work on his leadership skills, calling out issues that are happening on the field. It doesn't happen. So for now, tomorrow we're going into a game with Lukumi as our leader, Munoz, Arteaga as our right back, left back, who are probably going to go pretty attacking if they can. But I don't see a lot of stability at the moment, and I'm really hoping that he plays Mackenzie for the physical part. But I'm afraid it might be a really tough game, also because the motivation in your team is so high at the moment.
Yeah, Matt, do you want to read that question out to Mikey?
Mikey, do you think Genk can get European football again for next season?
Yes, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win the. What's it called? The weird third tournament, Conference League. Yeah, we're gonna. We're gonna win it this year. Because we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose against you guys. And even though you said like, okay, the trainer wants the stability, wants to push the team as far as they can, I cannot imagine that that the other 2 teams like Vienna and what's the other one? Prague?
Zagreb,
right. I can't imagine they're going to face the same fierce team, because as I know, the Prem, with all its cups and all its leagues, is a very demanding league. If you're safe for the first spot in the Europa League, you're not going to go out and send your best guys in. You're going to go give those youngsters a shot. You're going to give the guys who are working hard a shot. And those games, you guys might lose a few, but that's no problem for you. But it's a problem for us. Yeah. So we're going to win the Conference League. There you go.
This is the team. This is the team you put out against West Ham the last time out. But this is the team that you actually put out when you beat. I'm terrible with the pronunciation, so if you don't mind pronouncing that team,
Zulte Waregem.
Yeah.
They are a team we're always good against, so it's not really something.
but the biggest change there we see, like you said, is Bongonda and Panstil has come in for him. So that's really the change. Is this more or less the lineup we expect to see tomorrow?
As I said, I hope to see Cedric replaced by Mackenzie, but probably not. Otherwise, I think this will be the team to meet tomorrow. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I have 2 more questions for you, Mikey. And the first question is, who is the West Ham player you fear the most for tomorrow's game?
At this point, it's pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Ever since our last chat, I've been following the network a bit, and it doesn't really lighten my mood to see you guys win 1-4 against Aston Villa and see you guys wipe out City in the cup. So
Cup, yeah.
it makes it really difficult. And I've been surprised, for example, by Cresswell in our meeting up last time.
Yeah.
It was the kind of player that I thought would not make the biggest impact. I was kind of looking at Rice for that part, but he turned up, man. He and
Yeah.
with the confidence being that high, I can't imagine that it's I can't imagine that anyone would step out.
This was the West Ham lineup that took on Genk in the last game. And before we ask you the last question, Matt's got the last question to ask you. What did you think of Declan Rice? I mean, we'll talk about him in a second, but what was your kind of impression of Declan Rice in that game?
Well, as I said, I'm pretty happy that I saw a full game of him live. He was probably even more creative than what I thought it would be. He really knew how to break open the game, and what I loved most about him was that he didn't step away from his defensive role. He was there when he felt that there was a threat, and it's that versatility that made me like him even more at the point. So yeah,
absolutely. Mikey, what is your predictions for tomorrow's game? Oh, sorry, Matt, I just took your question. Sorry, mate.
Well, ask it again.
Matt, go for it. Ask it, Matt. Ask it.
Mikey, what's your predictions for tomorrow's game?
First of all,
what are you hoping for? Because I always give this answer. What are you hoping for, and what do you expect to happen? What does your head say, and what does your heart say?
I hope we'll get a 10-0 win. I hope your bus breaks down and you don't make it to the stadium.
I tell you what, though, thousands of West Ham fans will probably pick up that bus,
and carry it there,
because they're in that mindset. They're in that mindset.
Okay.
Do you think? I know you're going to give me a prediction. Do you think that Genk can score the first goal against West Ham in the Europa League?
No. I think. First of all, by the way, my first prediction was right up until halftime. It was 3 minutes away. So here I go. Okay, so we're gonna go Sadik, Lukumi, Tosat. So we're gonna concede in minutes 23. We're gonna concede again in minutes 37. Gonna come one back at around the 1 hour mark. And then, would you guys park the bus at that score?
At 2-1.
2-1 away from home.
I
think we'd sit more defensive.
I think we'd counter. Try and counter. And
we'd probably try and sit deep and counter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So honestly, I mean, at 60 minutes, if we were up 2-1, I don't know if we would sit back. I'm not going to lie. I don't think we would, Matt.
Okay. In that case, you're going to go 1-3 in minute 76. And there's nothing we can do about it because Ito will have carried the whole team. He'll run out of power. Might bring in a youngster like Luka Oyen or something, but he's probably too inexperienced to change it. So 1-3.
Right.
Damn, it hurts to say.
Don't worry. Listen, if you, I take it because you're on vacation, you're not going to the game tomorrow?
No, unfortunately not. I've thought about it, but
yeah. If you are at a loose end, and you might not be, but if you are and you want to at least come on, we're doing a live show before the game. If you even want to come on for 5 minutes, I can message you the link. It's up to you. You don't have to. No stresses. If you want to discuss the build-up for 5 minutes, you can. I'll send you the link, Mikey, and it's up to you whether or not you want to join tomorrow. Listen, Mikey, it's been an absolute pleasure again. Total and utter legend.
If I may just say one more last thing, because I am aware that that it's probably the last time I'm going to speak to you guys, apart from maybe tomorrow.
No, we'll maybe figure out something if we can.
But sometimes people ask me the question like, what club do you really support? And of course, I'm always going, it's Genk. It's the only club I ever support. And they always go like, oh no, but the big ones like Madrid, Barcelona, whatever. And I'm always saying no, Genk. I do follow some teams, like all the teams that have those ex-Genk players, De Bruyne at City, Leandro Trossard, Brighton and Hove. So I do follow those teams, but I don't follow the teams for the players. I don't follow the teams for the teams. I follow the teams for the players that are in there. I have to say, and I said it a bit before the show, watching you and your dad looking at the Genk game, it really sparked a lot of sympathy with you guys, you fans, the club as a whole. Basically, the point what I'm trying to say is I'll be adding West Ham to my list of clubs I watch, but not for a player, but for the club. So I'll keep following you guys. Thank you so much for having me all the 2 times, and hope to have you guys again tomorrow.
Absolutely. Listen, it's been I can't thank you for the kind words enough. It was that's lovely and really cool. And everyone in the chat, I've put up as many comments as I can. Have said thank you. You're a lovely guy. Everyone's saying nice one, Mikey, cool guy. And we'll figure out something. I'd like to stay in touch with you, Mikey, as well. So
love to.
This is what's really cool about things that we do. We get to speak to so many different people, and we do. Matt, we always kind of say at the end, even after off the screen, that was unbelievable. So yeah, it is, Mikey. We will definitely stay in touch. Don't worry. I'll send you the link if you can join tomorrow. Don't worry if you can. We'll stay in touch and really kind words. And as I always say, all the best to Genk after tomorrow's game. I'll keep tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on them, and I hope they do go. I'll go far. Yeah, do you know what? I will put the comment up, but I was just about to say I'm going to send you a little piece of merchandise as well. So
I was thinking about buying one of those Christmas balls, but you don't ship them to Belgium. So is there a way that I can pay for it?
Yeah, we can sort it out. I'll speak to you.
Let's sort it out.
What I'll do is I'll send you a mug, so that you won't have to deal with that, and we'll get that sorted. We'll talk after, and I'll get your address and we'll hook that up as well. Definitely.
Awesome.
So absolute pleasure, Mikey. You've been here. We go. WHU. I think we might have converted Mikey to a hammer. Paul Evans, top man. Mikey.
After tomorrow, yes. After tomorrow, yes. What did you say? Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
Okay, got it. That's right. Hey guys, do me a solid. Win the Europa League, right?
Don't.
Don't tempt us.
You got the quality. Keep the club together during the winter. Keep it. Make it stronger. Trust the coach. Trust the process. And beat it out of everyone. You guys got it. You really do.
We're scared. We're scared to even remotely commit as a fan. We're scared because we can't even believe what's happening right now. So, it's
you guys the Europa League. We're the Conference League. Next year we'll meet again.
Yeah, we will. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. Listen, absolute pleasure, Mikey. Thank you very much. I hope you stay safe.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. I'll be in touch. Thank you. Take care.
Ciao. Bye.
Cheers, mate. Lovely guy. Unbelievable. Like, just really nice words. Really cool words.
We say off together, that was top bloke, but he's like just a genuinely nice person.
Yeah.
And he's the sort of person you could walk into a pub to and just sit down and just chat about stuff.
Yeah.
Random stuff for hours.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. And it's just such nice to get a really good, strong insight into the opposition. But really, 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 really nice. Everyone's coming in. Andy Pepper, what a genuinely nice chat. Big thumbs up, Mikey. Top-notch fella. Absolutely, 100%. Long Dark Tunnel. There you go, mate. You sorted that out. He did. Good thinking. Good thinking, Batman. Really cool. Really nice guy. And yeah, we'll figure out a way of how we can get him back on laterally if we do qualify. If we do get through to the next rounds, which hopefully will happen. So Mikey, if you're watching, again, thank you very much. Top lad, top gentleman, proper legend. So let's go and talk a little bit about our club, Matt, West Ham. So if you are watching, I'm going to ask you now to put your starting 11 in the chat, and we'll go through that as much as well. So put your starting 11 in the chat just now. Okay, before we do that, let's jump into the comments and see who is kicking about in the comment. Where are we? We'll get it. Where we go. We'll get him a hoodie. Look at that. DJ Russie B is in the house to be. Honestly, it was lovely. Really, really cool. I'm going to go jump up as far as we can. People are talking about how Spurs get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. Honestly, Matt, it's so funny, isn't it? Loved in this. And he was saying, I would not be surprised if two chicken rice start. They did at home, which was a surprise. Fremer saying even lads up the hammers. Mark R saying Noble and Crawl. We'll talk about all this stuff in a minute. Helen Ludders. I know I keep going, I'm going to wake up from this beautiful dream. I don't think Crawl is fit. We'll talk about this in a minute. Our second squad is awesome. Our whole squad is awesome. Who do we dislike the most? Arsenal, Chelsea, or Spurs? All of them. All of the above. But yeah, as you could see, probably just say is Mikey. I think we'll lose because West Ham are massive. They get battered everywhere they go. Sifal for Johnson. The rest stays the same. Good to hear. We were a fear. Sifal is fit. He said so at the press conference. I'm going to do the press conference show tomorrow, and I'll do that in the morning before Russ goes on and does his lunchtime live. Just so many nice comments related to Mikey, which is cool. Let's try and convert Mikey into a hammer. We'd expect him to sing Bubbles by tomorrow. Yeah, really cool. We'll get him a hoodie, like you said. And your countdown, and here he is here. Going to enjoy tomorrow's game. Thank you all for your warmth you guys gave me. Come on, you irons, after tomorrow. So, Mikey, total legend, mate. Total, utter legend. Right, let's get into West Ham starting 11, Mr. Matthew Flack. Right, goalkeepers, what are we doing? Let's bring them out. Yeah, are we just sticking with the same goalkeeper? You know, both are playing on form. Both are looking pretty lively, decent. But we're going to stick with Areola, yeah?
I think he's cup goalkeeper at the moment, isn't he? So, yeah.
Let's bring out Mr. Fabianski. Okay, let's go with our centre-half pairing, which we currently have brought out. Dawson, Diop, Ogbonna, and Zuma. Now, we know that the two in the middle there, Dawson and Diop, are our Europa League centre-halves. Will that stay the same for tomorrow?
I think it will. I think Dawson and Diop, yeah, I think at the moment he seems quite set on he's found his two pairings, should we say.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. So let's put them nicely in position. Here we go. So let's bring in the left potential options for left back. Now, I'm going to bring a few players out here because we know that they can, if need be. But what are we going to do with this left back position?
I still think it'll be Creswell.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it will be as well. Let's no beating about the bush. We've got another position here, which really brings probably two players. We've got a third option if we want. Ben Johnson, who's been firing on all cylinders so far in the right back position. He's been absolutely unreal, but so has Vladimir Sufal. Probably needed the rest, and I think his injury really did have an effect on his kind of latter performances. But he's back, he's fit, he was at the press conference. Is that a sign?
I've got written down here, I think Sufal will start.
Yeah, I agree. I think he will as well.
I think I think Ben Johnson's pushed himself into that starting berth at the moment. I think it's his to lose.
Yeah.
So I think as such, he won't play Thursday night. I know we've got an extra day on Liverpool because Liverpool got an extra day on us because we're playing. Well, it's 2 days extra. Liverpool playing today, aren't they? So they've got an extra day on us, but we've got to travel away. So I think Moyes might try and leave some of the big guns at home.
Do you think he will? I mean, I've seen some people. I think I've seen most of the. I think I've seen quite a lot of the team travelling.
Well, if not leaving them at home, he might try and make sure they're not on the pitch.
Yeah,
it's not.
Well,
it's not far. It's not fast travel, is it? I mean, like we said it's on. You can do it on the train in what, like, is it an hour and a half or something?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's move into the central defensive pairing now. Last game, Souček and Rice started the game. Krol, what we believe is in training and is getting there, but I don't know if tomorrow's game is going to be a bit too early for him. What do we do in the central defensive pairing?
I thought I read that he was fit. I didn't see the whole press conference.
Yeah,
but I saw glimpses.
So there are little niggles and knocks that we're not sure about players that might not make it.
And was Souček on it today?
Souček on what?
Was he on the press conference?
No, he was talking yesterday. He wasn't on the press conference.
And I'm sure he said that both Krau and Soufal were fit.
Yeah.
So I was sneakily going to say, on that basis, I think Krau will start.
Okay. And who starts alongside him?
Don't know. I'm up for debate on that part. I'm not going to lie.
Let's jump into the chat and see what everyone is saying. Irish Tommy's in the house. Areola, Soufal. Let's get into the middle of the park. Noble and Krol, he is saying. Mark R is saying Noble and Rice. Let me see here. Howard Ailes is saying Noble and Krol. Nota is saying Noble and Krol. And Hornswozler, you are saying, wow, you're saying
Lanzini and Fornals.
Changes. Lanzini and Fornals, I think, yeah, from what I can read there as well. I mean, Lanzini could be an option.
I've got him in the team, but I haven't got him that deep.
Right. Okay. So what do we think then? I mean, there's a
I've literally put Rice / Souček. Right. I think it will be one of them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Deckers.
I would say that. All right, the second half again in the first game. The second half, because we got the goal right on half time, and we got the goal at the start of the second half. We were able to sit more deeper and control the game, and then Noble come on like for the last 15 minutes. So we basically dictated the game at that point. But for the first half, when they were attacking, they were causing us issues. I don't think we can afford to take it too lightly. But
this is why I think I'm going to put Souček and Rice starting in the game tomorrow, because I'll tell you why. Every time I thought, and everyone has thought Souček is going to be rested, he has never rested. I don't think he can be rested. I don't think that's a physical possibility. I don't doubt for a second that Krol and Noble will get some game time somewhere, but I think Rice wants to play every single game. Well, and I think if we can qualify and get the result tomorrow and try and get it early doors, it leaves it open for other teams to come in and perform where they need to be. So I'm going with Rice and Souček.
Yeah,
big bold statement, but I feel like that.
You gave a compelling argument.
I'll put these down here because I know people are going to probably disagree with me on the chat. But, I think this is about what we want, but also what we think Moyes will do.
I'm sure we probably can sit here and go back to the first game, and I'd probably say Krau and Noble.
Yeah.
And like we said, Moyes was like, Rice and Souček are starting.
Yeah.
I think you said it earlier. Moyes will make 4 or 5 changes. So, I mean, in theory, that's already 4 changes without listing the front players, Yeah. Obviously, Dawson and Diop as a pairing they are like a solid one change, really, because it's the centre-back pairing. For centre-back pairing, Soufal's normally the starting one, but it is players changes from, the game at the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can't make too many changes in that position. That's why I said maybe Krau and one of Rice and Souček, because they
Mark,
did have.
I agree. I know Rice was rested, but Souček wasn't, and that's the thing. I don't think he will, but I do think that momentum is what Moyes wants, and to get the confirmation. The difference here is, like, I know we're sitting here very confident and sitting here saying, we'll go through. The quicker we go through and qualify for the round of the last 16 is the better for West Ham.
And that's the thing, we need to finish first.
We need to finish first.
Don't want to finish second.
No, and I feel like that's what they're going to try and go
into. That's what's driving us forward.
Yes, they've got 3 games. I get that, but I'm just building it up based upon history of what West Ham do. We all say, and I see what you're saying there, Tommy, no need whatsoever to play any first-team players tomorrow.
We're not guaranteed qualification yet. Let's be real.
But the situation, Matt, is that even with that, we've never done it. We've never done it as a team. And this is true. Do you know what, Crazy Call? You're right. Boys and girls, this is why we never get it right. Very entertaining, though. We never do. But I'm trying to
Premier League, we're pretty solid, but the cup games, it's...
But do you know what the funny thing is? If you asked me to choose the team with my head, I certainly wouldn't have Rice and Souček playing. That's not...
No, yeah.
But I'm trying to build it up about what Moyes is going to do.
Yeah.
And I think he might play them. I do. Whether that pisses people off or not, I just think he might. Right, so I think I've convinced you on that. Yep. Let's move into the left-hand side.
Oh, the left attacking mid position.
Yeah. So who have we got available for that? Masuaku? What do you think?
That's what I've got written down over here.
Yeah, Masuaku.
I thought you had a decent performance. I'll hold my hands up because I think the Man United game, he was not up to standard at all. And then he come on for the Man City game, and I was like, "Oh no, why are you playing him?" But
yeah, you were really negative.
But for the 60 minutes he was on the pitch, he actually played really well. And I'll hold my hands up and say, you know what? Maybe there is a position for him playing it, even if it is a sub, just because he's got a bit of pace and can whip a ball in on his left foot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit here like someone else and come and give him like a -2 rating when he played quite well.
He's digging him out! He's dug him out!
No names mentioned.
Matty boy, go on,
no names mentioned.
He's digging him out. He's not watching. He probably is watching. And now you've probably fished and you've now caught something, mate. And he's about to bite and he's about to write a comment. I love it, Stato. Love it, mate. Carry on.
No, for the 60-odd minutes he was on the pitch against Man City, he actually played really well.
Yeah, he did.
Not just doubling up defensively, but actually on the ball, making the right decisions in passes and carrying the ball forward. So I think Moyes might play him.
Yeah.
Away from home in Europe, you want to be more defensively solid.
Yeah.
And he has a bit of pace on him.
Absolutely. Right, let's move into the right-hand side.
I've got Vlasic.
Okay, let me just find him. There he is. Let's put him in the right-hand side. Okay, are we going with... should we put Yarmolenko up top?
That's what I've done, yeah.
No, he done Bowen last time out, didn't he?
He did. He actually played... I've scribbled and crossed his team out about 3 times in front of me.
Let me see here. So this is the team we put out the last time against Genk.
Yarmolenko was on the wing, Bowen was up front, and it was Vlasic and Lanzini.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, we could fully see that team again tomorrow and just literally just see Soufal come in for Johnson.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me.
Yeah.
But I am trying to go in the mindset of that he's trying to balance the team between tomorrow and Sunday.
So there's loads of things that are up for debate here. I think we know and we believe that Antonio will be rested again for tomorrow's game. He did play Bowen up top last time out, and Yarmolenko just kind of in behind there. That could be an option as well. I don't think Fornals will start the game. No. What's interesting though is a player who's not been in form as of late is Benny. And Lanzini has kind of been coming in and working his backside off, coming off the bench, and actually, in particular against Villa, looked really good. People have been trying to say that they could potentially see Benny starting the game tomorrow, and Lanzini potentially starting the game against Liverpool. Now, I'm just going to put it straight out there. I don't agree with that.
No, I don't.
Right.
Not.
Is this why we're going to see Lanzini starting?
I actually think there is going to be times this season in the Premier League when we will see Lanzini start in front of Benrahma if the form continues the way it is for both players.
Yeah.
However, injuries ruined Lanzini, and I don't think he covers the ground as much as Benrahma does in a defensive sense. Like, I don't think he can get up and down as much as Benrahma does. So for the Liverpool game, when Moyes is going to expect that non-stop up and down all game, I don't think it suits Lanzini. Playing away from home in Europe in a number 10 position.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, to add to that, is that, you know, as much as people don't think Benny's been on form, I actually think Benny's been doing, I said this, I can't remember what show I said it in, I actually think Benny's been doing more than what people are actually saying. Just non-creative stuff. He's just working hard for the team. And
he started well at the start of the season, didn't he? When he was scoring goals and getting assists.
Yeah.
But we said at the start of the season, I think you've probably said it more than once, definitely more than once. When we didn't get a centre forward in, we were all annoyed, like we should have got a centre forward. But we said all it means, like last season, is we're gonna share the goals around. Everyone's gonna have to contribute goals, and you go back to the game on Sunday.
Yeah,
we shared the goals around. Johnson got one, Rice got one, Fornals got one, and Bowen got one. The goals got shared around, so the workload's going to get shared around as well. So yes, at the start of the season, Benrahma was getting the goals and assists, and the other teams will probably their players around him will do more defensive work because he's in a bit of form, let him go. And now he's not in a bit of form. Well, it's all right, but I'll tuck in and do defensive work on my side. All right, it might not click at the very last for me, and I might not get the goal or the assist, but I know that if I'm tucked in the middle, Pablo's doing it or Gerard's doing it either side of me. So, look, ideally you want all of them in form all the time, but if they're going to be out of form, at least the way it's going, it sounds really weird and stupid. It's like it's not worked out. It's not intentional, but it's like they're taking it in turns to not be in form.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the season, people were saying Bowen wasn't, and now it's like Benny's not, but Bowen is.
But the thing is, I want to address this comment, Howard. I'm absolutely not digging Benny.
No, I'm
in
not.
Particular. What I'm saying is I'm judging it based upon what other people are saying. So I think people are judging Benny on goals and assists.
Yeah.
When in actual fact, what Moyes is caring about, yes, he wants goals and assists, but he wants every single player in that team to work his backside off. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd be really tempted to get a Brentford fan, one of the Brentford fans we've had on before, to come on and watch this game in particular and see the work rate that Benny puts in. And I bet you any money he never put anywhere near that work rate in when he played at Brentford. So what
he was
we're
like
doing,
a floating number 10, wasn't he?
Yeah, and the comparison I'm using is that Fornals took a while to transition into the player he's become. Because when he came to West Ham, Fornals was not that player. He was creative, but he was not
He was a floating number 10.
He was a floating number 10. And what Moyes has done is transitioned him into this, absolute monster in the midfield. And I can see Benny doing kind of a bit like what we're now potentially, hopefully, what we're going to see with Vlasic is just stepping up to the plate.
It's like what we're seeing with Bowen.
But the thing, mate, is I actually think that Benrahma offers us a lot during a game because he does have strong work rate. So I can actually see that Benrahma can play, and depends if he gets a goal or depends if he gets an assist, depends if he's playing attacking and creative. I think that we will see a 70-minute Benrahma performance depending on how he plays. And if he's subbed, it's not because he's playing crap. It's because we need a new creative outlet. But he's done all the hard work for the team that we need. So he's getting subbed because he's worked his fucking backside off. So for me personally, I'm not digging out Benrahma. I'm actually mighty impressed with what Benrahma's doing. And I'm not just solely looking at the stats and the goals that he scored. But I'm not digging you out there, Howard. I'm just addressing that kind of comment. Mark R saying nothing wrong with Benrahma. Lanzini provides an important option for Moyes. Can't wait to see Masuaku doing 20 step overs while 5 players wait for a cross inside the box. Nick James is saying Benrahma's just a scapegoat for us West Ham fans. Always need someone to moan about. Unfortunately, him and Lanzini can rotate depending on opposition, as both are quality. And it's a great point, isn't it?
That's what I was trying to get to when I was saying about the Liverpool game wouldn't be one for him, probably because we're going to spend a lot of time defending and backtracking and doubling up. Whereas when we play a non-Big Six team, if you think Benny's a bit knackered, you could quite easily put Lanzini in there and he could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fremer saying almost every fan is basing offensive performances on goals and assists. Dabs saying, look at the obvious, we score more goals when Benny's not playing. Sorry, but it's true. Stato, is there such a thing as a floating number 2?
I can't believe you just read that out.
You flushed it. I know you flushed it down the toilet, Tommy. You flushed it down the toilet. I know you've got to read some of them out sometimes. Charles Fornals was always going to be good. Couldn't understand why people didn't fancy him at the start. I fancied him right at the start, but I'll hold my hand up. I always felt like when we had to make changes last season, that Fornals was one of the first names that we should have changed off the team sheet. However, not this season. I think he's actually one of the first names that goes on the team sheet. I can't believe the player he's turned into. An absolute beast. Benny's a great player. Not a beast in the weird term, a beast in the good term. Benny's a great player. I just feel he tries too hard and sometimes needs to be a team player. I'd play Masuaku after Man City's game. I think he will. Anil Irish, I like your toilet humour. So do I. Benny will never leave a Moyes type player. Sooner or later, he will leave West Ham United. Nicky James is saying, love the positivity. Never a floater in the Spuds bog. They go straight down. Evening all from Beanie. Good to see you, Beanie. Dabs, Fornals is such a unique, special player. He really, really is. Fornals has been amazing. So much goes through him. He's involved in almost every goal and tracks back like a rapid dog. I've always said that about Fornals. I actually think, when every time that Fornals has not played and came off the bench, he's changed the game.
He has. In an attacking sense as well.
I think he's a game changer. I really think he's a game changer player. And I think Benny will follow suit. I think we're seeing some of the best of Benrahma, but I don't think we'll see the best. If I'm being brutally honest, I think we'll see the real best of Benrahma next season. And remember, he's still young, he's still enthusiastic, he's still buzzing with life. And, get a good season under your belt with West Ham. That'll do him the world of good. So we have named our starting lineups. We have a nice little debate. Let's bring up our starting lineup one more time for everyone to kind of question there. We're going with Areola in goal. We're going with Creswell left back, Diop, Dawson in central defence, Soufal coming in for Ben Johnson. We're going for Vlasic on the right, who does need to step up. But equally, Moyes is also saying that, we wanted to bed him into the team.
I think, like you just said, don't forget, it took Fornals 2 years to get to the player he is now.
Yeah.
Is it 2 years? Yeah. He was a Pellegrini signing.
Yeah.
So, Benrahma's had 1 year. Was Vlasic going to need 2 years to get to what we want? You need to give him time.
Yeah.
Which Moyes has said.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Matt, we've brought in Zuma, Vlasic, Areola, and Kroll. And Zuma has started really most games-ish, apart from Areola now laterally. Apart from that, we're not even getting to see the other two players because everyone's keeping them out of the team, which shows that the squad is performing at the highest level. I think it's going to be Rice and Souček in the middle of the park. People may disagree with me. Masuaku in the left, Lanzini in the hole, and Yarmolenko through the top. Is this team the one you would play or the one you think Moyes will play? I honestly, Tommy, this is not what I would play. This is not what I would play because I am probably on the same wavelength as you. I would not play Rice and Souček.
The only one I could possibly see Moyes might do that we haven't done is no Masuaku and Bowen. And then Vlasic out to the other side, Yarmolenko back down the wing, Bowen up front.
Yeah.
Which I think is what I said is actually, if you go back to the last game, is pretty much what he played.
Yeah.
And so you could argue that the team we played last time and you just swap in Johnson out for Soufal.
Yeah. Dabs is saying, can we do quickly a preferred different lineup. So get your comments in and Dabs then.
I want a preferred lineup rather than what Moyes do, what we would do.
Yeah. So I'm just getting that prepared while we're doing it. So let me know what you would like to do. People are talking about, will we bring Lingard back? I mean, I'll ask the simple question.
He had a really good run out last night.
I'll ask you, sarcasm's just reaping out of you. I'll ask you the one question and the one question only. Would you take Lingard back?
Depends on the money.
No. Would you take Lingard back? Do you want to enter negotiations with Lingard in January?
Yeah, I would.
Right. How much
would
we pay?
Look, if we got to the stage, if we got through the Man United part and it was us and Lingard, we would have him, yes. But you've got to get through that wall of Man United first, and that's the bit I'm like, if they ask for any more than 10 million, I'd walk away.
Yeah.
Like,
I want him back. I absolutely do want him back. Right, okay, let's get your predictions in. If you are watching, get your predictions in for the game tomorrow evening. I don't know if there's music, but we'll try and see if there is this time. Tommy, I get it. I totally agree with you. I get it. However, I don't know how many times I personally have said that neither will play and they play. Souček won't play and he plays. I agree, but I just don't know. I just don't think it might happen. Before we do go into the what do you call that thing? The predictions. If you are interested in the Christmas West Ham baubles, then go and check them out on the link I'm about to put in the chat just now. Thanks to my wife. She's got her own little business. She's doing Christmas handmade baubles that can be personalised for your name and number on the back. West Ham United gold hammers as well. £10 they are each because they are handmade, of course, with a donation for every purchase that goes to the Iron supporting food banks. So if you are interested, get involved. The chat is there as well. Matt, tomorrow's game against Genk, what is your predictions?
2-0.
2-0 West Ham?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Another defensive shutout.
Yeah.
Another professional performance.
Yeah.
And we'll be sorted.
Neil T saying 3-1 West Ham win. Crosshammer saying 2 each. Troj is saying Souček just needs to finish one of those chances. He's been unlucky and fluffed a few this season. Paul Evans is saying Lingard will be back in January. Pete Grace is saying 2-0 West Ham. Irish Tommy saying 2-1 win. Crazy Call saying clean sheet once again, goal in each half. I'll let you do the maths. Dabs is saying Fabianski, Diop, Dawson, Sufal, Creswell, Kroll, Noble, Benrahma, Masuaku, Vlasic and Yarma. I don't see Fabianski starting. I agree with Diop, Dawson. Sufal, I agree with Creswell. I could see Kroll and Noble. I could see Benny. I could see Masuaku. I could see Vlasic. And I could see
that team. Just change a goalkeeper out.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick James is saying that's his job besides heading. Tell me what he does that Obiang couldn't. I'm just saying right now, Souček is having a blip. I know he'll come out of it, and I do rate him. I have sound info. Jesse will be back either January or the summer. Tell me who that sound info is from. Tell me. Mark Hartime will tell not playing enough Lingard. Lings is a yes. P. Gads is saying West Ham 4, Genk 1. What's the LP today result, by the way? The what? Liverpool result. Is that what it is? I think if you play Masuaku, would say Benny, that'll be a good link up. So they're both creative players. Jesse loves West Ham as well. I keep saying how desperate Lingard's to come, but United are holding him back. Sahil is saying a Desmond. Howard Ailes is saying 4-1. Noble, Yarma, Masuaku 2. Megan is saying Vlasic needs time. His work rate is there, but needs a goal. Really do think he'll be something. I think he'll be a fan favourite. I thought of this about 4 hours, and I just see similarities. Hornswalls are saying 2-0 to West Ham. Masuaku to score and Sufal to get his first goal. Long Duck Tunnel saying 2-1 West Ham. Framer saying 2-0 Hammers. Vlasic and Dawson. Mark R is saying 3-0. Kimball saying 3-0. James Bong is saying 2-1 West Ham win. WHU58 Lingard would be a good move because he knows how we play. Players like him, and he's good for the dressing room. Steve Irons is saying 3-0. Paul Evans is saying 2-0. Lingard is very good in the transition to the counter. He absolutely is. That was my preferred lineup. Scott Venice saying Areola, Fredericks, Diop, Dawson, Sufal, Kroll, Noble, Masuaku, Vlasic, Lanzini and Yarma. Paul Evans is saying 2-0 Irons. Pete is saying, trust me, Lingard is coming back. Irish Tommy is in love with Megan. 2-0 from Anil, Vlasic and Diop. And I'm going to go 3-0 West Ham. 3-0 West Ham. There you go, mate. There's my prediction. Note, hold on a minute, there's more got in there. 2-0 West Ham win. Come on, you Irons. There you go. Love hearts all over the shop for you too, Megan. I mean, Tommy, where is my love heart? Can you not just write Anton love heart? Can you write Stato love heart as well, Tommy? Tommy, I'll send you a message actually after my phone's died. So when it comes on to life again, I will send you a message after the game. See if you're about tomorrow. Scott, 2-1 win away with Lanzini and Big Craig. 4-0 to the Hammers from WHU. Get a room, you two. Scott, thank you very much. What about Stato? You've missed out, Stato.
You know what? I remember now. I was actually quite close last time. I said to you last time with the easy win, everyone was like, I think I went 4-0 last time. I think we won 3-0 in the end.
Love
but
it.
This time I'll go more conservative.
Yeah, you should be a bit more conservative. I'm only joking. Listen, before we do end the show, if you are intrigued and interested, please subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you are, but some people actually aren't. Some people watch the channel and don't subscribe. So if you are interested, go across and hit that subscribe button. We are on the route to 10,000 subscribers. Not bad for such a little tiny channel that we are. Irish Tommy shows us the love. There you go. There you go, Matt. We are effing massive. Scott Venn is giving you loves and fires. There you go. So, subscribe to the channel. Please do. It's really cool. It helps us out. It gets us towards 10,000. Hit the thumbs up as well. Check us out. I'll be back tomorrow for the press conference. I'll put it out nice and early in the morning for you all to enjoy. And then there'll be a lunchtime live. And then we're going into the Matchday live tomorrow. The game kicks off at 5:45. Matt, are you working? What time do you get home at?
I'll be around by 5, so I'll be.
Okay, so we might be going early. We might be going earlier than we've ever gone before for a Matchday live. So keep your eye on the channel tomorrow. We'll let you know what is going on for that. Like I said, please do subscribe. Thank you very much, Tommy. Thank you very much, Crazy Call. Thank you very much, everyone who's commented. Stato, you are massive. Scott Venn is saying Irons. Cross Hammer saying Night All. Howard Ailes saying Night All. Come on, we are massive. Here you go, Scott. Stato, how do you feel about the Days Banter review and your reviews?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched one. I don't think I could watch one.
Well,
I'll be under too much pressure.
Scott, we only found out about it literally a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and we do take it as banter. Like there's no ifs or buts about it, and it's actually really funny because I love. I've started watching it, and it's funny because everyone goes on and goes, "Oh, you've given Dawson a 7. I'll give him an 8," and I'm like, "There's no real difference between a 7 and an 8." So it's funny. It's actually funny, and I know it's all about banter, so I get it. It's cool. We really don't take things.
I first started watching it. I feel under pressure. I'll be like, oh no, it affect my ratings. I'll be like, I've got to give him. I gave him less last week. I better give him more this week.
Yeah, you were panicking.
I mean, I know I have to start giving Fabianski high ratings. So
yeah, Scott, they're approving of your reviews recently. I know, Scott. I also seen that. What was it they were saying? That Matt's got an agenda against Fabianski.
Yeah, it's Fabianski, apparently.
Yeah,
I got told.
Yeah, so yeah, it's quite.
Funny, I mean, I gave him a good rating for the weekend game. So,
but I think the interesting thing, Scott, and for everyone that watches, is it just shows you how everyone looks at a game extremely differently. It's crazy when I see, I seen people ripping into Ben Johnson when he was playing at left back. I think it was against, was it Manchester United in the League Cup, and I thought he actually had a nice little cheeky performance out there. I didn't think he was crap. But anyway, that's just what happens. They love you really, Matty. Yes, they do. We all know they do. Vlasic will score tomorrow. Good show, guys. Thank you very much. Howard Ailes, West Ham Network is massive, mate. Thank you very much. Matt, you should do a review of theirs review show, Matt. That's what we should do. Why not? Let's do it for a bit of banner. There you go. The only agenda still is against Masood and probably against West Ham and probably against our channel. That's just the way he rolls. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Subscribe, like, and comment. He's been Stato. I've been Anton. We're the West Ham Network. Come on, you Irons, and we'll see you.